Hey everyone, it's Shannon. Today I am going to be doing a product review, but this is a little bit different than what you're used to seeing from me, and that is because today I'm doing a review on the Truvía, which is considered or being promoted as a natural sweetener, so basically a substitute to sugar or other artificial sweeteners that you may be using. I'm going to include a link below to Truvía's website, so if you want to go take a look at their website to get more information that maybe I did not provide you, you're welcome to do that. And also, if you haven't watched any of my videos before, you would have seen this in a haul video, but I was sent this to review at complimentary as part of my Influencer VoxBox program. Anytime that you're dealing with something that you're going to ingest, I'm always going to encourage you to do a lot of research on your own. There's a lot of positive feedback on this product available out there, but also as I was doing my searches, I was also finding negative feedback, which is typical for any kind of product launch, but particularly when it comes to something that you will ingest. And so I would always encourage you to really do your research the product, research the company, research how the product is made, research the ingredients of the product. You know, there are reports of people that have had some reactions to the product, and so whether that's true or why they are reacting, I'm sure is on a case-by-case basis. So you really need to make those types of decisions for yourself. Nobody is going to advocate for you and your health and what is right for you more than you. And so anytime you're going to try a new product or a new company, and particularly products that are recently invented, you really want to kind of do the research and decide if it's right for you. That being said, let's talk about Truvía. Now, Truvía is a product that is intended to be a kind of like a sugar substitute. It's also intended to replace any other substitutes, artificial sweeteners that you're already using. It's being promoted as a natural option for sweetener. It apparently comes from the stevia plant. And it also is listed as having 0 calories. So anytime you can cut your calories back, that's always a plus. And this is just a sample box that I have here. But essentially, it looks like any other sweetener. And turn it the right way. Looks like any other sweetener pack. And you're just going to, you know, sprinkle it in your cereal, sprinkle it in your coffee, all those types of things. I know that there are recipes available where if you'd like to use it as your sweetening agent in a recipe, those are available online as well. And it is being touted as being suitable for people with diabetes. So I did try it. I used it in some tea, and I've used it in cereal. Those are really the only 2 times that I ever use artificial sweeteners. Most of the time I tend to use sugar the majority of the time, but the reality is that artificial sweeteners are sweeter than sugar and requires much less sweetener in a product to get that flavor than it does actual sugar. And actual sugar does have calories, whereas most sweeteners do not. So what do I think about the product? It definitely does not taste like sugar. It does taste to me like an artificial sweetener tastes. However, it does not taste to me like any of the other artificial sweeteners that I have ever used. It does have its own unique flavor to it. And so this is going to be a situation where once you've done your research, you're just going to have to try it. If you decide you would like it, you're just going to have to try it and see if it's right for you, if it tastes right for you, if it suits your needs. I've seen some reports where people said they had to use a little bit more than their normal sweeteners. Some people say they use the exact same amount as their normal sweeteners. I can say that the majority of the people who said they had to use a little bit more of their natural sweeteners did indicate that they use Sweetener, which in my opinion is probably the sweetest of the artificial sweeteners. For me, let's say, for example, in a cup of coffee, for me I would probably typically use 2 packets of Equal or 2 packets of Splenda, where I would only use maybe 1/4 to 1/2 of a packet of Sweet and Low. So it would make sense to me that if somebody is used to Sweet and Low and that's their artificial sweetener of choice, that they would probably choose to use more than one packet of the Truvía. To me, all artificial sweeteners taste differently. Sweet and Low is definitely the sweetest of the ones that I've tried. I would say Equal for me probably tastes the closest to real sugar. If I were going to compare this to any of the other sweeteners that are out there, I would probably say that it's closest to the flavor of Splenda. If you have used Splenda before, it doesn't taste exactly the same as Splenda, but if I were going to compare it to kind of the three products that everybody knows the best, which would be Sweet and Low, Equal, and Splenda, I would say it probably most resembles Splenda. And it's also important to keep in mind that if you do typically use a certain sweetener, if you are going to try to switch to Truvía based on its claims of coming from or being natural ingredients, then you probably are going to have to give yourself a little bit of time to adjust to the different flavor. I think if you are a habitual artificial sweetener user, I think it's not really fair to expect that you would immediately prefer this taste over that taste. I think you need to give yourself a little bit of time to adapt, to get used to the taste of this, and kind of sort of let go of what you're kind of used to. There is going to be a little bit of a period where you're going to need to give yourself time to adjust. But it does, to me, it does equal the flavor of other sweeteners. And I think I could easily get used to replacing an old sweetener with the Truvía. Like I said before, there's always a possibility that you might have sensitivities, you could have allergies, so you do need to keep that in mind anytime you are going to adjust a product. But I think that if you are trying to eliminate unnatural products from your diet and are trying to push for more natural products in your diet, then it kind of makes sense that you would want to at least do the research on Truvía and see if you feel like it's the right choice for you. Now, like I said, I'm going to link the website in the information bar below. All of my other sites are listed down there as well. And so I really hope this is helpful, or at least gave you a few things to think about. It is my experience that it is very comparable to the other products that are out there. And so if you're looking for a more natural product, then this is a good place to start. I'm going to encourage you to go out and do your research on this product and see what you think about it. I always encourage people to really do research with the food industry and what's being put in our food, and whether what you are using is a genetically modified plant or not. Are there fillers involved? I'm really a big proponent of us kind of redefining our food industry in this country. Obesity is through the roof in this country, and so anytime that we can go from artificially created products to natural products, it's probably going to be a good idea. And anytime that we can have transparency in the products that we are consuming, it's a good idea. And we really just need to advocate for ourselves on what we expect from our food supply in this country, because we have been poisoning ourselves for a really long time. And I think that all of us realize that, if we compare ourselves, particularly as adults, to adults 30 or 40 years ago, something is wrong. Aside from the fact that we just eat too much and we're a little bit gluttonous, something has changed along the way. And so I'm going to encourage you guys, whether you've tried Truvía or not, whether you want to try it or not, whether you use artificial sweeteners or not, to go do the research, check out the website, do research on the process, on how it's made, do research on the stevia plant, do research on the company who is producing this to see if you can support what they are involved in. This is made by Cargill in Minneapolis, if you're familiar with them. And also research any people that are advocating against Truvía, and just consider both sides as well. and then advocate for yourself on what you feel is right for you. So if you have any questions about the product, you're certainly welcome to leave the question below in the comments, and I'll see if I can find the information for you if I don't know it already. If you're using artificial sweeteners, I think it's a great idea to do the research and see if you feel like this is a better option for you. I think it falls right in line for those of us who do use sweeteners on a regular basis, or with specific foods, every time we have those foods, that it's a good idea to maybe give this a shot and see if it is a better option in comparison to what you have typically been using. And I think it's very comparable to the taste-wise to the other products that are out there. And so I think you should do your research and possibly give this a try. And so, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know, and check out the links and go do your research, advocate for yourself on what you are eating. Have a good day. Bye.